The Hawaiian Archipelago. 137 islands stretching over 1,500 miles across the Pacific Ocean. I'm standing on Mauna Loa. We got Mauna Kea, Hualalai, Kohala Mountain, and Haleakala across the Ali Nui Haha Channel. And we got Molokai, we got Lanai, Kaho'olawe, Oahu, Ni'ihau, and then the rest of the northwestern Hawaiian Islands all the way to the Kure Atoll, which is 137 islands down the chain of the Hawaiian Archipelago, stretching 1,500 miles across the Pacific Ocean. So yeah, there's plenty of Hawaiian islands. The rest of the Hawaiian islands is inhabited by seabirds, sea life, seals, sea turtles, and a few researchers on the smaller livable islands. From the highest peaks of all the 8 major Hawaiian islands, from Paniao and Ni'ihau sitting at 1,289 feet, to the highest point on Kauai, Kini at 5,243 feet. Then we head over to Oahu, to Mount Keala sitting at 4,010 feet. Then we head over to Molokai, to Kamako sitting at 4,970 feet. Then let's go to Lanai Hale sitting on the island of Lanai, sitting at 3,366 feet, the highest point on Lanai. Now let's go on over to Kaho'olawe, to Lua Makika. Well, Lua is a pit that sits at the top of Kaho'olawe. That sits at 1,477 feet. That pit sits at the top of Pu'u Moa'ualanui on the island of Kaho'olawe. Now what you see behind me are the larger mountains of the Hawaiian island, the Hawaiian Archipelago. Now across the Ali Nui Haha Channel, you can see in the distance back there, that's Haleakala sitting on the island of Maui. Now that volcano is a dormant volcano. Now Haleakala sits at 10,023 feet. The last time it erupted was about between the 15 and 1600s. And Haleakala is about 2 million years old. So like I said, Haleakala is not an active volcano, but it's also not an extinct volcano. It's dormant. Now dormant means it can erupt, or maybe it will never erupt. Now we're on this island. This island, let's go to the oldest volcano on this island, which is Kohala Mountain. Kohala is about 5,479 feet, and it last erupted about 120,000 years ago, and it's about 1 million years old. That's the oldest volcano on this island, the island of Hawaii, and that's an extinct volcano. Now let's head on over to Hualalai. Hualalai is right there. Hualalai is about 8,279 feet. It's about 300,000 years old, and it last erupted in about 1801, and that was a Kaupulehu flow in 1801. Mauna Kea, the world-renowned Mauna Kea, the tallest mountain in the world, measured from the base of the seafloor to summit. It's about a little over 29,000 feet, even higher than Mount Everest. Now Mauna Kea is about 1 million years old, give or take a few thousand years, and it sits about 13,800 feet, give or take a few feet, and it last erupted about 4,500 years old. Now Mauna Kea is not extinct, it's in a dormant volcano. Now last but not least is one of the largest active volcanoes in the world, and I am standing on it right now. I'm about 12,000 feet on Mauna Loa, headed to the summit. Now Mauna Loa is about 13,678 feet. It's somewhere between 600,000 and 1 million years old, and it last erupted back in 1984. And I just happened to see that eruption in 1984. I was on Saddle Road. They closed Saddle Road down, but I managed to get in there before they shut the road down, and I sat on the side of the road with hundreds of other people, and we watched the lava come down out of Moku or Vel Caldero, coming down the slopes of Mauna Loa. It was beautiful, it was amazing, and I remember that moment very vividly, watching the lava flow down Mauna Loa back in 1984. Yeah, it was amazing, it was beautiful. Oh, and the last Hawaiian island, well, it's not quite an island yet. It's sitting below the surface. It's 22 miles off the eastern coast, the southeastern coast of the Big Island. It'll be the next Hawaiian island, and that's Loihi. Loihi sits about 3,000 feet below the surface, but it's about 10,000 feet up from the base of the seafloor. So it's sitting at 10,000 feet, and it still have 3,000 feet more to go before it reaches the surface. So it's a pretty big seamount right now. Like I said, it's 10,000 feet from the seafloor going up. You got about 3,000 feet more before it reaches the surface. So it's a very large seamount, and that'll be the next Hawaiian island, Lo'ihi. It's located 22 miles off the southeastern coast of the Big Island. So yes, that will be the next Hawaiian island. So that's the Hawaiian island, the Hawaiian Archipelago, 137 islands stretching 1,500 miles. Kyoto all the way to the Big Island, and the next island is Lo'ihi, which hasn't broken the surface yet, and it probably won't for another few 100,000 years. But yes, that's the next Hawaiian island.